nation's capital, two blonde journalists who seek complete world domination. They're funny, they're informative, they're out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, Breaking Beltway with Jessica Chasmar and Timpf.
Good evening, everybody. You are listening to Breaking Beltway with Jessica Chasmar and Timpf.
Hey, guys.
Catherine, you just came... Oh, we play every Tuesday night, just in case you're wondering, at breakingbeltway.com, or you can check us out at the iTunes store. You just got to download a podcast app, and you can subscribe to us every week.
Yeah.
And, Kat, we're running a little late tonight, and you were at an event tonight. Tell our listeners about that.
Yes, I was at an event at University of Maryland, which, by the way, is a public school, so everyone who's listening pays for this.
Yes.
And I went to an event that was like sex toys for adults. It was basically a workshop about choosing safe and environmentally friendly sex toys. And it was this lady, and she was just like, it was really disgusting. She was pulling out all these different toys, and she was like...
Wait, environmentally friendly. So these are green.
Right. She's recommending the rechargeable ones because you don't have to get rid of the batteries.
Are we talking about sex toys that are rechargeable or what? Solar powered?
Also, she was talking about a wooden. She brought out this like wooden vibrator dildo, and she was like, you can sterilize it. You know, if you're gonna put it in someone's butt. Then
my God! Okay.
No, literally, no. This is what I had to listen to. This is you put it in when you put it in someone's butt, then you sterilize it, and if you're gonna put it in someone else's butt, and then if you sterilize, then you can put it in someone else's butt. And I'm just sitting there like,
oh my God! Do they know who you were? Do you have to?
No, I didn't. I didn't. They didn't know.
So
who I
you're
was.
talking. Okay, wait a second. So that doesn't sound sanitary. A wooden. If it's wooden, that doesn't...
Yeah, she's like, there's a coating on it, and I don't know.
Okay, so how many people were there?
I would, like, fewer than 50, but,
Really? That's still a lot.
It was kind of a lot, yeah.
And it was on campus?
It was on campus. It was in the student center. It was part of the school sex week. They had a whole bunch of things.
What else did they have for sex week?
I missed this one, but they did have on campusreform.org, you can check it out, the sex week story. They had a class or a workshop about how to properly dirty talk to get what you want, which was taught by someone else from the sex toy shop, who's also a pole dancer. Because, yeah, so, like, dirty talk, like, which is, like, fine if you want to, like, take that class on your own time. That's, like, not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, the government is shut down because we don't have any money, and it's paying for this. And also, like, the woman who was teaching the workshop, she was the owner of this sex toy shop in DC. This sex toy shop that's like devoted to environmentally friendly sex toys.
Hey, is this by any chance? I remembered reading about a sex shop that was offering free either classes or sex toys to furloughed government employees.
No, that was in Detroit, I thought.
Oh,
maybe
because that's interesting as well. But
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with this. You know, I was a little taken aback because last week we had the sex show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Last week when we talked about a couple of these things and these campuses hosting these sex classes, and, you know, a couple of people called us prudes in so many words. One guy called us social conservative squares.
That's hilarious.
To quote him. And, you know, I have a real problem with that because, you know, A, we're not social conservatives. B, we're definitely not squares.
Right.
And, you know, how dare you call me a prude and a square just because I don't believe that, you know, the taxpayer should have to pay for these classes. And you know, this is the University of Maryland. These are Maryland residents that have to pay for these classes.
They get federal government money, too.
And, you know, taxes and all that stuff, you don't get to choose where your taxes go.
Right.
I understand that.
Right.
Like, you don't get to choose where your student fees go, but where do you draw the line?
Right, I mean, she was picking up, she brought all these sex toys, she had this big silver thing. She picks it up, she's like, and this you can put in someone's butt. I was like, what? Like, this is not, this is tax dollars. You know, that could go to but what I'm saying here is that could go to, you know, give another student a scholarship. or something like that, rather than
Gonna get me a
have this girl, this woman show up. And plus, she owned the sex toy shop, so she was like promoting a lot of her own products.
She's there. It's like a Mary Kay demonstration.
Right, it's like they hosted a Tupperware
it
party.
was like an Avon calling. You know, she's having a little Tupperware party. It's like a pyramid scheme.
That's what I sound like. I mean, so she's promoting her own.
Oh,
weird...
that's ridiculous. And now that you say that, that makes it even worse.
Yep, exactly.
So, you know, we're not prudes. We're just realists. I
mean, right. When I have my first time I was around the Drudge Report was for this story about this woman who was teaching this workshop, another one of these sex workshops, about how, like, we shouldn't judge people who engage in, like, bestiality, like, because some people do it, and, like, about, like, looking at everything with non-judgmental eyes. And then she flipped out on me after I published the story, was calling my work and saying that I was a erotophobe, which means I hate sex, and then a homophobic blogger. And this is when I was living with all those gay guys, so I was like, this is really funny. How many gay roommates do you have? Because I have a couple. Like being, like, just people associate, you know, that's one of the talking points that you hear from the left all the time. Is if you say anything wrong about anything has the word sex or anything in it, you're a homophobe. You hate sex, you're a square, you're social conservative.
Yeah, and of course, you know, being libertarians, you automatically get lumped in with the social conservatives.
Right. I mean, I'd be just as angry about a Tupperware party.
But it's, you know, we can't win. We can't win. Because I have the social conservatives yelling me about this.
Saying
that I'm a whore and I'm a harlot. I got called that the other day, a harlot. Like,
who does that?
Okay, Grandpa, thanks. I mean,
someone's been reading the Scarlet Letter.
Right? I mean, so I got the social conservatives saying that I'm fake edgy, that I'm a whore because I like Miley Cyrus, and then I have the other people over here saying that I'm a prude because I don't think that, you know, Maryland residents should have to pay for your, you know, butt sex training session. I really don't think that I should have to pay for that. I mean, call me crazy.
Yeah, she was like talking about, oh my gosh, like all these different like loot. Oh my gosh, I can't even repeat some of the things I've heard.
Kat briefed me on some of the things, and it goes into a little bit of more detail than we'd like to here. I'm Breaking Beltway.
Disgusting. I heard way too much about her personal sex life.
More than you needed to.
More than I need to. I'll spare all these other people.
Yeah, and then that other girl. What did that other girl say to us? She said on Twitter. She said that we needed a sex positive perspective.
Yeah, okay.
because of our show last week and how we were speaking negative about the girl who was mad at Texas for not teaching her properly how to have an orgasm.
Right.
We were a little taken aback that a person could grow up in life expecting that the state is responsible for teaching you how to pleasure yourself. I mean, call us crazy, but we don't think that that's a priority of the state. But
that's creepy. I don't want the state to have any interest in that area of my life.
I have a problem with that. And this girl on Twitter, you know, God bless her, she listened to our show. I mean, that's great. Same with the guy that called us squares. They listened to our show. But, you know, and she said that we needed a sex positive perspective, which I don't really understand what a sex negative perspective is.
So we're sex negative.
I don't understand that. I don't get it.
I don't even know if anyone who's sex negative. I don't even think even the most socially conservative Republicans are sex negative.
I don't even know what that word means.
Exactly.
So I can't even contribute to the conversation.
Right, I don't either.
But in so many words, she was calling us prudes and that we need to lighten up. That's basically what she was saying.
Well, we should ask her how she learned to pleasure herself.
Yeah. What state does she live in? I want to know what state Miss Thang lives in, and who taught her how to have a proper orgasm. I'd like to know.
And do you think?
Because I'd like to do a story on that. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
So do you think that it's a state? I mean, that would creep me out. I don't want the state to have that interest in my life.
Look at these libs. Look at these liberals saying, "Stay out of my bedroom. Stay off my body." You know?
And then be like, "But
stay out of my bedroom."
Yeah, stay out of my bedroom, off my body, except. Come into my bedroom.
Yeah.
And what?
I saw a commercial for, you know, we're getting bombarded with Virginia ads.
Of course.
And even though I'm in Maryland, but we're getting bombarded by these ads, and I guess it was Cuccinelli, one of the women was like, "Oh, he how dare he put his ideas on my body," kind of thing. And I'm like, this woman probably voted for Obama. She probably is for Obamacare.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't understand, like, how they can possibly think that one thing is okay and the other thing isn't. I was actually my Halloween costume. I'm just gonna draw a big 404 on my shirt. It's like the easiest costume ever. You just walk around as Obamacare.
Yeah.
I mean, but people just automatically think that healthcare coverage equals healthcare. They think that healthcare coverage and healthcare are the same thing. And just because this is the first time we've ever had to buy into a product without any guarantee on the return. We have no guarantee on the return. How do we know anybody's even going to be able to take care of us?
Well, they're not. It's like Social Security all over again.
Right.
Because I talked about this on Fox last week, just about how they are openly. This isn't like a conservative talking point that it depends on youth to pay for it. No, the Obama administration is saying we need young people to sign up in order to pay for the people who are older and getting sick.
Exactly.
And they are saying that they need 3.7 million. Yeah, 3.7 million, or it's not going to work.
Right.
And they're saying that they're saying we want to take and they're pretending to feel so bad for all these kids who have all these student debt, and it's like, well, you're taking more of their money. You're outright admitting that you need them to sign up and to take their money. And what I don't understand also is, okay, like, if you look at student loans, basically what the more aid that government has given for these things, the more expensive it's gotten. Schools just keep raising their prices.
Right.
Like, I don't know what's so difficult for people to understand about the fact that nothing is free.
Right.
You can't just create things out of thin air. They cost something. There's a labor cost to things. There's a material cost to things. There's free healthcare. The fact that people, they're like, so is this what people really think? If somebody, please let me know, if anyone out there is listening who think, oh, well, why wouldn't you want free healthcare? It's free healthcare. And like, that's like their extent of their argument.
What was that one girl who was like, there was a quote and she was like, oh yeah, I wanted to have free healthcare, but I didn't realize I was gonna have to pay for it. Or like, I wanted everybody in America to have free healthcare, but I didn't know I was gonna have to pay for it. It was something like that. Like,
ridiculous. Are
you insane? I remember I dated a guy. It didn't last too long, obviously.
Yeah.
Because he was like, we would fight constantly about Obamacare because he didn't care. He didn't know anything about it, but he called himself a liberal. And it's like, okay, if you're going to call yourself a liberal, at least know why you're calling yourself a liberal. And I tried to tell him about Obamacare, and he's like, wait a second. So, like, I really think this is a good idea, but wait a second. You mean that my check is going to be less now? You mean that I'm going to have more taxes taken out? He had no clue. No clue. And a lot of people don't even know that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are even the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll go into that a little bit further in the next segment. We have a really good story by Caleb Bottom, one of your coworkers from Campus Reform, talking about the shutdown and stuff. But we're gonna take a break and give you some. Let's see, what do we have here? Sublime. 40 Ounce to Freedom.
Oh, nice.
And welcome back. You're listening to Breaking Beltway with Jessica Chasmar and Catherine Timpf.
Yay.
And Catherine, your coworker, your colleague, Caleb, he was at the University of Colorado?
Yep, yeah, he lives in Colorado, yeah.
Oh, okay. And he had this video. He actually found out that the students that go there, they actually are blaming Obama and the Democrats for the shutdown.
Yeah, that was really shocking. He actually discussed this on Fox and Friends on Saturday. It was a huge deal because, this is college students, which are normally very liberal, at University of Colorado, which is liberal, normally, I would think. But, yeah, he had, like, that paper with all the tallies on it.
Right.
Do you blame the Dems, the GOP, or Obama? And
it was just one after another saying Obama.
Yeah, more than 10 will blame him. I mean, Democrats, even more people blame Democrats than GOP.
And that's shocking because the media has been just blasting the GOP. It's the GOP's fault for this entire thing. If you were listening to the media, let's play a sound clip from this one girl who was kind of funny.
All right.
Who do you blame for the government shutdown?
Obama.
Blame Obama? Nice. Tally it up. Why do you blame Obama for the government shutdown?
Because Obamacare is stupid.
Why do you think Obamacare's dumb?
Because you shouldn't be required to have health care.
Go off with the individual mandate.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
We're asking students at the University of Colorado, who do you blame for the government shutdown? Democrats. At the University of Colorado, it is unanimous so far.
Very interesting that these kids are one after another blaming the Democrats. It shows that the media narrative maybe isn't working in Colorado.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, some things, you know, the GOP, you got to wonder, what would it be like if Ted Cruz wasn't doing this stuff, like that horrible hashtag, Obamacare is not an iPhone, that's got to go. That's got to stop.
I never read that one.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, it's shocking. It gives a little bit of hope, but not really, because it's still going to be the same no matter what. I mean, Obamacare is going to happen.
Right.
Do you understand how I just said that? I sounded like, yeah, I just saw my cat get run over by a truck. That's like the same way that I sounded like Obamacare is going to happen, because it's terrible. It's going to be so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, the fallout, I mean, look at what it's turned into already. It's been an absolute fiasco, and everybody knows it, you know. You don't really need much of a media narrative to sway people's opinions, because they know what's going on, you know. People aren't that dumb. I mean, they see that, you know, I mean, people in the hundreds have gotten through to this thing in state by state. I mean,
it's so bizarre.
What was it, Hawaii? I think it was Hawaii, to where, like, the first week or two, they hadn't gotten one person to sign up because of some kind of major glitch. And I love that word, too, glitch. Like,
that can mean anything.
It's glitchy. Like, oh, it's just a little glitchy. Like, no, your website does not work.
Yeah,
it is completely debilitated. Glitchy does not mean debilitated.
Yeah, no, glitchy is like, oh, the screen just flashed for a couple seconds, or
right.
it's a little slow if you click on this link.
Right.
Yeah, glitchy...
It is a complete
It's like saying
disaster.
Someone's sort of sick after they've been dead for a week and a half.
It's already begun. I mean, it's absolutely already begun. Look at I mean, if we're having this much trouble right now, I mean, this was supposed to be a really high-tech website, you know? And it was only 70% operable, and they were when they launched it, and they didn't listen. They launched it anyway. And you know, this should be indicative of what's to come.
Yeah, and people are saying, oh, let's just let it fail, and then we'll learn, and then we'll switch. That's not how it works. Like, I feel like this is our life now. Obamacare is going to happen. And, I mean, I hate all the narrative. It's like, you don't like you want sick people to die.
Oh, yeah, we want to push Granny off a cliff.
We need more money for guns, so we can't have, you know.
Gosh, what was that story last week where that Mexican woman gave birth on the front lawn of that Mexican hospital?
Oh, that's so horrifying.
And you know, they're being sued now, of course.
They told her, it wasn't like she was lost out there. They told her, we don't have room for you.
Yeah, they told her, you know, this isn't this is not an emergency
It's
situation.
Not an emergency. Giving birth
we don't have enough doctors to take care of you. And also there was a dialect issue. They couldn't really understand. So they went outside, and the woman, she had already given birth twice before, so she knew what was going on, and she just popped a squat and gave birth.
Ew.
And the picture...
Ew. Is it bad that birth grosses me out? Am I an 11-year-old boy because I can't even talk about birth without feeling so sick? Ew. Poor.
But yeah, the picture of her giving birth and the umbilical cord still attached was on the front cover of a Mexican magazine, and it was this huge outcry against the hospital. And you know, Mexico has had socialized medicine.
Oh my gosh! First of all, they put that on the cover of a magazine.
Yeah, they don't have the same.
I'm not okay with that.
Discretion.
I'm not okay with that. I don't want to be throwing up in the middle of a 7-Eleven if I see that.
But I gotta tell you, the story was very powerful.
It is,
very
and that's
powerful.
obviously very powerful and acceptable. I'm just distracted. I have a thing. I have a thing about blood, and I think it's too far on American television that you can say the phrase cord blood.
So we know that if Kat ever does have children, she's going to be knocked out. It'll be a planned C-section for Miss Catherine.
I don't want to do that, though. I wouldn't want to do that.
Hey, man, that's the way to go. You go to sleep, you wake up, poof, it's there.
My mom had all three of us naturally. No drugs.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah. Cord blood shouldn't be allowed on TV, that word. When they're like...
That's disgusting.
Oh, God. Ah! Okay, sorry, everybody.
We're so mature.
No, I mean, that's obviously... This is obviously a tragic story. That's definitely... To be told that's not an emergency, I treat things way less serious than giving birth as emergencies.
Right.
Like, if I don't know what direction I'm going in when I was driving, I used to turn my emergency lights on. Because I'm, like, freaking out, and it's, like, an emotional emergency, and it still counts. Yeah. I mean... That's what I was going to tell the cop. I did get pulled over one time, and it was always in a roundabout. Still don't understand roundabouts very well. They were tough for me. I would never know which street. I was always lost. One time a cop pulled me over, and he's like, "Do you have any idea what you are doing?" He's Susan, no.
Yeah, I remember when you got rid of your car, you're like, it's better this way.
It's better this way.
It's better with me off the road.
You know, I'm a smart girl. Driving is not my strong suit. I have a creative mind. I think more about ideas than turn lanes and things like that.
Yeah, you're
That's what I tell
an
myself.
airhead.
I'm not an airhead. I'm a creative mind.
You're distracted. You get distracted.
Yeah, I do.
And what else? Oh, okay. For WashingtonTimes.com. For our listeners out there, you probably already know, but I work for Washington Times.
Mm-hmm.
I write for WashingtonTimes.com. And every week I write these stories. A lot of them are just nuts. This one, I guess.
Speaking of glitches.
Yeah, speaking of glitchy government programs and government agencies, the EBT, the Electronic Benefits Transfer, food stamps. I guess there was a problem. Xerox contracts with them, something messed up with them. They went offline for like 2 hours, right? And I guess the word spread really quickly in Louisiana in these two different cities, Spring Hill and Mansfield, Louisiana. And all of a sudden, you know, this food stamp recipients just flooded, completely ransacked these Walmarts because they thought they were going to have unlimited balances, okay? Like, oh snap, we got free food or free, you know, whatever they're going to get. I mean, it's Walmart. They were probably loading up on all sorts of stuff.
I would have got a TV.
I mean, can you
I would
buy
have gotten
stuff
another
like that?
TV.
I mean, if you have an unlimited balance, then, I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
anything
maybe
about
not.
it.
I'm sure those are like restricted
I don't know
items.
anything about
I don't
it.
think you can get. Yeah, I don't either. But I really, if you can get TVs
But if you have
on
a
it,
card,
that's
like, aren't
problem.
you just swiping a card? Like,
Wasn't
or is
there a
it...
story a while ago that you could just swipe it, so people were getting cash out or something and like gambling?
like an ATM card.
Yeah.
Like a debit. But yeah, like these people, they just completely ransacked
I don't know what the case
these
is
places
now.
on a Saturday night. And
I'm sorry. What a sudden Saturday. Like that's
could you imagine? I just can't imagine. Okay, this is like Black Friday. Like, I don't care how good the coupons are. I don't care how good
Right.
the deals are. You could be giving stuff away for free, and I am not going to deal with this mob. Okay, but that's what these people did. And
what
they
if you
ransacked
didn't
this
know
place.
it?
And oh yeah, what if you were just
And
there?
just deciding to go
what if
shopping.
you're just there?
Like, oh,
hanging
it's Saturday
out?
night, most people be out, and
Yeah,
then you just
that's what I do. If I do my grocery shopping, it's on like a Friday night. Where there's
I do that a
nobody
lot
around.
too, yeah.
Or like a midnight, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what happened. It came back online at like 9 o'clock. So everybody was trying to get their food, and all of a sudden, like, everything cost a lot of money. So they just dumped their carts every which way. And like, we're talking about thousands of dollars of food spoiling, just laying around in carts and carts and carts and carts and carts in these Walmarts. And I saw a video of it. It was absolutely unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Just piles of meat and food just everywhere. And so these Walmart employees had to put everything. One woman tried to walk out. She tried to walk out with $700 worth of groceries. She got to the cashier. She had 49 cents on her card. Okay? So these people were robbing the place.
Yeah,
they knew it. They were this was looting.
Yeah,
There's no other which way about it. If nobody bothered to ask why, nobody bothered to ask how, if all of a sudden I had an unlimited balance on my whatever, would you just automatically go and spend it? I can't
Yes,
imagine.
I might. Yes, I might. I mean, no. I mean, I don't know.
What if it was what if it was the government paying for
Right,
it?
no, I
What if it
understand.
was coming from Obama's stash?
I understand. And I
You
mean,
know?
also the level of respect that they had for the entire situation is,
Right.
emphasized. Oh, what do you mean I don't get all this free food? Well, I'm just going to dump
here.
it everywhere. It's,
Yeah, take care
it's
of
the
it.
fault of the Walmart people
Right.
who probably aren't, if you're working at Walmart, you probably aren't making a ton of money.
Right.
And your job isn't probably very fun. It might be. Everyone's different. But just to say, because of a glitch that's not your fault, now all you people, like hardworking
Yeah.
people, have to clean up spoiled meat, rotting
Mm-hmm.
meat.
And now the question is, whose fault is it? And is Walmart going to get reimbursed or, whatever? And, because there was a quote in there, I don't know if I included in the story. Oh, yeah, okay, we did make the decision, this was a Walmart representative, she said, we did make the decision to continue to accept EBT cards during the outage so that they could get food for their families. That right there, that should be you being willing to take your losses. I don't
Yeah.
think that they should be able to be reimbursed for that. If maybe it's Xerox's fault. Maybe they could go to Xerox. But
Yeah.
it's certainly not the government's fault. It's certainly not the taxpayers' fault.
Right.
You know, if Walmart decided to, quote, give food for their families, then that's a Walmart. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Well, I mean, whose fault is it?
Xerox. Xerox had the outage.
Yeah.
But somebody made an executive decision to keep giving out free food.
People
Which
don't
was
have
Walmart.
People don't have any respect for the government's money. As long as they didn't have to pay for it, they didn't care.
Sure.
Everyone's trying to get as much money from the government as they can.
Sure. So, $700? She loaded up $700 knowing that she had 50 cents.
Yeah, that's
sick.
That's sick. That's definitely sick. And she knew, she wasn't like, oh, maybe I got this money somehow. She knew it was a mistake. She knew it was a glitch.
Oh, yeah, because
so
the
that's why
rumors
they started
spread.
flocking there. Yeah, that's absurd.
Oh, they're giving away free food over at Walmart or whatever, or free EB or, you know, whatever. Like, the word spread so quickly that they just got completely mobbed all at once.
Oops.
So
sorry, that was I got a text. I want
She's so
everyone to know
popular.
I got a text message. I'm so popular.
But yeah, that story definitely did really well because people are just sick of it. They're sick of it. They're sick of this mentality. Like, yeah, I realize the economy is bad. Yeah, I realize, like, you know, these are hard times, but have a little dignity. You know?
Dignity. That's what people are missing
Have
right
a little
there.
dignity.
That is the perfect word. Dignity.
You're not gonna catch me rummaging through a pile of meat for my free cheeseburger. I don't know, like, what the heck?
Hot dog.
Yeah,
This is the problem. This is the problem. Nobody
wrestling
there's
mullet from each other.
There's no pride anymore in providing for yourself and being self-sufficient.
No, and you know, a lot of
Because
times
there's no
it's generational
dignity.
too.
Yep.
It's generational welfare recipients. So it's passed down and passed down and passed down. And it becomes the government owes me, and God forbid you cut off that lifeline. God forbid something happens to the food stamps and there's a lot of trouble. There was just something the other day where something happened. I didn't read much on it, so I can't really talk about it. But there was something just the other day where it's something on Twitter. It was like a trending Twitter, and it was like food stamp riot because I guess something happened somewhere. But yeah, it's just this mentality, you know, free Obama phones, free Obamacare phones. If you sign up for Obamacare in Minnesota, you get a free phone. If it's just
Okay, I mean, here's the thing. The government's trying to do too much, clearly. Food stamps, it's doing food stamps. It's doing, national security, and then it's doing regulations on farms, and then it's going to do healthcare. And the government can't do any, what's a private business going to do if the government's already doing everything?
And doing none of it well.
Doing none of it well, exactly. I mean, food stamps, obviously, people make it about, there's going to be these people who are falling on hard times and aren't going to get food. And that's horrible. That's
Right.
obviously horrible that, these people that are, falling on hard times, that don't, have maybe been born into a situation where it's, harder for them to get money. But then you see something like this, you're like, okay, there's some people that are just, they're just sick. They're going to go and purposely try and steal. And then they're going to leave all of the stuff everywhere for someone else to clean up.
Right.
I mean, this story wasn't very widely reported, and I'm sure because it doesn't fit the narrative that everyone that's on food stamps is an angel. Of course not everyone that's on food stamps has this mentality
Right.
and wants to steal from the government. There's plenty of people who have fallen on hard times and want,
and who
use
do it
that to
as
improve their lives,
a
as a necessity.
temporary
right, and then
alternative.
but then there's this, and you can't. It's people, you don't want to say it, you don't want to acknowledge that this is out there, but there is this is existing, and we are spending money. I mean, we something we should be talking about at least.
Right.
But nobody is, because nobody wants to be offensive.
Right. And speaking of not being offensive, the
Yes.
politically correct, everybody is talking about this Redskins fiasco.
Right.
The Redskins, they're just calling them the Redskins is offensive. And what's so funny about the Redskins controversy is all the people that are so offended by this are non-Native Americans.
Right.
And even Obama had to throw in his 2 cents not too long ago about how he would change the name if he had the choice.
Of course he would. I mean, that's not shocking.
How dare he even
probably
answer that question?
Right, because he's a pop culture icon. That's all he really wants to be. But
the Redskins, PETA actually has a idea for them.
They're the best.
And I love PETA. I always go to their website just to get little news tidbits because every once in a while they come out with something like this. They came up with the Redskin potato. Why don't you just change your mascot instead of being a Native American? Make it a potato because they're
PETA
fierce and.
They also were calling for an investigation of some school. I can't remember the stories from a little while ago.
Redskins himself for a field goal there.
Oops, there's some Redskins. But anyways, so yeah, like an eagle. The school started using a live eagle as a mascot during football games, and they wanted it to be investigated as a molestation.
What?
Just crazy.
Like molesting the eagle?
Yeah.
I guess? Like, don't molest the eagle?
Yeah. But okay, do you think they think they're funny, or do you think they really are that crazy at PETA?
Well,
I think it's a mixture.
I think this was written kind of in jest. I mean, it was a picture of a potato, just like laying there. Like a Redskin potato.
Why do more people not talk about, if they're going to talk about the Redskins, why do they not talk about how the Cleveland Indians are allowed to use that logo?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
and how come, what was it, the Blacks, who's Chicago?
Blackhawks is Chicago hockey team, yeah.
Well, yeah, how come Obama never said anything about that? Oh, because it's from Chicago, like,
or
there you go.
Maybe it's because the whole Redskins thing, I don't know. But
why wouldn't you say something about... Like any of the other teams.
I mean, at least it looks like a noble mascot. Like I said, Cleveland Indians. That dude. That dude is not. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not really racially ambiguous. I am a Caucasian.
But yeah, here's a quote. This is kind of funny. By keeping the name and adopting a heart-healthy, appealing logo, the Washington Redskins would set a powerful example on and off the field, and that's no small potatoes.
You know what? I support that. Can we send them a message and ask them how I can get a t-shirt or some literature to support this cause? That'd be hilarious. I would suddenly care about football if our mascot was a potato.
Yeah.
I could get behind the potatoes.
The fighting potatoes.
You know, everyone would bring potatoes to games and eat potatoes. I like where this is going.
Yeah, you're Polish. She likes potatoes.
I do. I'm Polish and I love potatoes. Polish people love potatoes. Starches.
Yum.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah, okay, we're actually gonna go to another break, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about some other good stuff. We talk about some Bill Maher, talk about some other stuff.
Whatever we feel like.
Whatever we feel like.
All
It's
right.
Breaking Beltway.
Hey, welcome everybody. You're listening to Breaking Beltway with Kat, Timpf, and Jessica Chasmar. All right, what are we talking about next? We have this school janitor.
Oh yeah, the mini hit. I love this story. This is hysterical. This is capitalism.
Oh, man.
I wrote this story for Washington Times.
This is not capitalism.
I wrote this story for WashingtonTimes.com. This woman, this school janitor, she worked in the cafeteria in this Michigan elementary school.
Michigan, where in Michigan?
Let's see, Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids, okay, not Detroit. Continue.
And she was caught trying to hire a couple of fourth graders for $1 to beat up a 9-year-old boy who spoke disrespectfully to her. I guess he cursed her out, and a couple of teachers and other students overheard this transaction being made.
What happened to this janitor?
She was fired.
This janitor, it's dog fighting with children.
Right. Sick 'em.
That's unbelievable. I mean,
$1.
She was just fired, and Michael Vick did it with dogs.
It wasn't even $1 each. It was $1 total. It was 2 kids, or I think it was 3 kids. I don't know how they split that up.
Did they still get the $1?
Well, that's where it gets tricky, because the funny twist here is, the district spokesman, he said that she was fired on the spot. Right. However, the mother said that the hit actually went through, and that her son was beat up. Wow. So it's kind of like, she's considering a lawsuit. Okay. And she said that she's worried for her family's safety. Listen, she says, I don't know what kind of woman I'm dealing with. It's a little sick and twisted to me. I get enjoyment out of making a group of kids beat up a little kid you don't like. And I agree, it's totally screwed up, but I think she might be trying to exploit the situation. Because if teachers overheard this going down, then she would have been reprimanded immediately, and she would have been taken aside immediately. I mean, to think that the hit would actually go through.
So wait, do you think it didn't really happen?
We don't know.
Right, that's
we don't
the
know.
thing.
She was fired, but we don't know. It's his word against his. The principal said she was fired on the spot. The mother said that the boy was beat up. So I guess we'll see if a lawsuit gets filed.
Jeez, because I mean, if she really did that, you could see if that could be even like assault charges.
Oh heck yeah! I mean,
so I mean, if she was just fired, that isn't
right. Then
that
she
doesn't
could
make
definitely
sense.
go to
It's
jail
like
for that.
It's like either you didn't do it or you should have a criminal case. Not even just a civil case.
Right. Exactly. You
But
would think that if it actually
this middle ground doesn't make sense to me.
Right. You would think that if the kid actually was beat up, then the mother would have gone to the police.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She's just considering a lawsuit against the elementary, which tells me that
Right, because you would
it
say
didn't
both,
happen.
all or nothing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You would go to the police because that's
Right.
ridiculous. And if this is true,
And
like
if you really were that
I'm afraid for my
yeah.
family, she would have gone to the police, and she didn't. So she's just trying to get money out of it. But how crazy is that? What was this janitor thinking?
I know, assuming that this
Could
janitor...
you imagine? Like, it's almost like, here, I'll give you a cookie,
I mean, this janitor obviously shouldn't be working in this school.
No,
This is,
no.
I mean, what do you think they're thinking right now? Do you think they're like, man, it almost worked? Or do you think they're like, I guess if you're the kind of person that is going to pay 2 kids to beat up another kid, you're probably actually not the kind of person that's going to look back and think it was ridiculous.
Right.
That's the worst part, is this person's not like, man, really messed up there.
Yeah.
Telling these kids to beat up that other kid. They're probably like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. You're making such a big deal of nothing. Telling the kids to beat each other up, man. It's nothing, man.
It sounds to me like it was kind of more like out of entertainment value rather than revenge.
Right. Oh, man. What a bizarre... let's get this person on the show.
Right?
Anybody knows the identity of this janitor?
I need to find the name of this janitor.
Let's call them and invite them to... Let's fly them out. Just kidding. I don't want them to pay kids in the hallway to come in here and beat us up. Apparently that's this person's M.O.
And, this other story that I wanted to talk about that was kind of funny. Bill Maher, he always says all sorts of crazy stuff.
Right.
But he had Chris Matthews on his show the other night and Maya Wiley from the Center for Social Inclusion. And whatever that is. The Center for Social...
Buzzword.
The Center for... I just heard the words come out of my mouth and I'm like, wait a second.
United Project Solutions.
The Center for Social Inclusion, President Maya Wiley. But anyway, okay, they were hanging out with Bill Maher on the show. And Bill Maher actually said that President Obama is leading as a centrist out of fear of being assassinated like John F. Kennedy.
What is centrist about universal health care?
Well, yeah, I want to know what is moderate about this man,
Yeah.
and I want to know, is that really what he means? Does he really want to say that? And Chris Matthews was like, whoa, buddy.
Right.
He was like, you want to tell me that you think that he's actually changing and that he's changing his policies because he's afraid of being killed? That's quite a claim.
Right. That's
quite a
claim.
And
Does he mean it though?
yeah, let's see. Chris Matthews, he said, "I'm amazed. I'm impressed you think that." And Maher said that it's probably assassination is probably something that keeps Obama awake at night. And he said, Matthews said he has to change his policies for that reason. And Maher said, "I don't think that it's an insult to say somebody that he may modulate his policies because he's afraid of all the hate that he sees." So, Bill Maher actually believes that Obama is a moderate and that his leadership is moderate.
So what should Obama be doing that's more, like, if he's moderate and he's not being, he's saying he's not being liberal enough?
I guess so.
Is that what he's saying?
Bill Maher is a strong liberal, so I'm assuming that he would want, Obama to be more to the left. But, to say that he's that weak, to say that he is that feeble to actually guide his policies for fear of being like JFK. I mean,
That
shows
can't be
what
true.
Mr. Marr thinks of dear leader, because he loves this guy. I mean, he likes Obama. He criticizes him a lot, but he also really likes him. He would vote for him again, I'm sure.
Oh, yep.
So I don't know, to say that he's guided by an idea that he's just a step away from being shot is pretty amazing.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Right?
I'm just gonna say it.
It is.
Yeah. All right, song time. Time for a song.
Musical break. We got some Bad Company. Welcome back to Breaking Beltway. I am Jessica Chasmar.
I'm Catherine Timpf.
And we come to you every Tuesday night at breakingbeltway.com or the iTunes store. And we just got an update. We were just talking about Walmart and the EBT glitch.
The glitch.
And the crazed food stamp recipients. And actually, we just got an update. Walmart says that they have no regrets about allowing... Let's see, this is what ABC News said. Walmart has no regrets about allowing a wild shopping spree at 2 of its Louisiana stores.
How could it say that?
Yeah, and the spokesperson said, "We know we made the right choice." And let's see, the Louisiana Department of Children and Family Services said that they should have been limited to $50 each. But Walmart is basically saying that they'll take the loss. It said
that's good.
It said our focus was our focus was to continue serving our customers. So there you go. They're not going to try and be reimbursed, which is good. I thought they were going to try and fight it, so that's good. They're taking the loss. They're looking at it as a charity, and so those people got their free food and were able to. I mean, I'm still angry as hell. I'm not happy about it. I don't think that they should be able to take advantage of the system.
It's not charity implies you gave something to someone. You can have someone steal from you and then
charity implies a donation where that was taxpayer money. So it's just messed up. I don't know.
Yeah. So can we talk about this ranch dressing guy now?
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about crazed mobs.
Yeah, crazed people.
Mental disorder.
Kind of the theme.
Let's see. Police say a Seattle fast food customer who wanted 3 packets of ranch dressing, but learned he would have to pay for the third, flew into a rage and attacked a 60-year-old man who tried to calm things down at a Jack in the Box.
How much did the ranch cost? I mean, 50 cents?
25 cents.
Oh my gosh.
So, he was complaining about being overcharged. He mumbled something about having a knife, and he climbed on a purple bike and rode away.
Of course he climbed on a purple bike and rode away. Of course he did. So he assaulted somebody over 25-cent ranch dressing and then rode away on a purple bike.
Yeah, it didn't say if he took his food.
Right, I was going to say, so did he get the ranch dressing?
Oh, trying to prevent a scene, the cashier gave the customer a third container of ranch dressing.
I mean, so...
police say the 60-year-old man was not seriously injured.
Not seriously injured? What does that mean? So he was injured?
Yeah, the 68-year-old man. He stepped in to try to calm things down, and I guess he shoved him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not seriously injured. I mean, I wonder what that means. Like,
but I guess he was injured, I guess? I don't know.
Jeez.
Ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing.
I mean, Kat, I know that you really like your ranch dressing.
I do like ranch dressing. I like honey mustard and ranch.
Honey mustard is the best.
Honey mustard's bomb.
So what would you do if you had to pay 25 cents for an extra packet?
I'd pay 25 cents.
Would you? Or would you just not take it?
No, I paid. If I'm going to go to a restaurant, I'm going to go to a restaurant. Okay? I'm not going to order a salad with balsamic vinaigrette on the side. What did I say?
Who would eat that at a restaurant? Who orders a salad at a restaurant?
I don't know, I tweeted that one time. I'm like, it's like, I could go out to a restaurant. I said, why go out to a restaurant and order a salad with balsamic vinaigrette on the side when you could just stay home and cry?
It's true.
And that's exactly how I feel.
And I can understand if it's like lunch or like it's a power lunch at work or whatever, but you don't go out to a restaurant on a Friday night and order a salad with balsamic vinegar on the side.
I mean, stay home and eat your whatever.
Yeah, your lean
vegetable,
cuisine.
I don't
Stay
know.
home and eat your vegetables in a bag, like I do.
I don't do that, but totally.
But there was something else that was really funny that somebody sent you at Campus Reform. What was that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so first I got this email from the guy by myself, and then they sent it to my boss through our news tip line. But it was directed at Jessica and I, even though Jessica works at the Washington Times. Anyways, it said, "Hi, Catherine," or Jessica. "My name is James Cuff, owner of at Dream Shield Auto in Las Vegas. I bulletproof cars as a part of the customizing of them." Nice. "And will offer substantial discounts to investigative journalists, etc. That's all. Thanks and keep up the good work. Best, James."
What does he think we're covering? Syria?
Why do we need bulletproof?
He
First
thinks
of all, I
we're
don't
in
even have a car.
Syria. Oh yeah, you don't drive, but like we need bulletproof glass shields.
That's
to
a
protect
very
us.
strange message
And
to
that's so
receive.
funny that they sent it to your work email, and I don't work there.
Directed at Catherine and Jessica. Like, that's bizarre.
And your boss posted this on his wall.
Yeah, what did he say again? He said something pretty funny. Let's give a hat tip, right? Give him
Oh,
a
yeah,
hat
we gotta
tip.
get him a hat tip.
Josiah Ryan. He said, "This guy emailed me at Campus Reform to suggest bulletproof glass for Catherine Timpf and Jessica Chasmar due to whatever they're saying on their Breaking Beltway podcast."
Yeah, we are pretty badass. I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna want to kill us.
Bulletproof glass is a little insane.
I don't know. I mean, bring it on.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna tell people to shoot me, but that's fine.
Well, today was fun. Next week we will see you Tuesday night. Well, tonight we're a little late, but we'll be posting a show every Tuesday night, and make sure to check back at breakingbeltway.com and the iTunes store. And you can subscribe to us at iTunes, actually.
Yep, with the podcast app.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
We'll see you next
Thanks
week.
for listening.